Hey guys and gals, this is Sonic Hero taking a look at the Tier 5 British medium tank, the Sherman 3, which is almost exactly the same as the regular M4 Sherman that you get on the American line, also at Tier 5. The difference is, it has 5 more hit points than the Sherman, the M4 Sherman. It weighs slightly less, with less signal range on the radio, 550 instead of 615. It has the ability to equip the 6-pounder cannon, so the stock grind won't be as bad. But once you've fully researched the vehicle, the 76mm M1A1 or the 105mm howitzer cannon is what you're going to be using. So I've elected to use the howitzer cannon because it's pretty good at tearing apart the lower tier tanks and also the lightly armored versions as well. Same stats on the 105, 53mm penetration for the HE, 410 average damage, rate of fire 6.67 rounds per minute, 0.55 dispersion, and a 2.5 second aiming time. The premium rounds is heat, 101mm penetration, 350 damage. That's exactly the same as a regular M4 Sherman. The main disadvantage that the Sherman 3 gets is the gun depression. It has 2 degrees less gun depression than the M4 Sherman, but it is -10 instead of the -12 that the M4 Sherman gets, so it's not too much of a detriment. You might notice it if you're playing the M4 Sherman concurrently, but if you have been playing other tanks, it's not so bad. You still go over hills quite well and blast people away. Now, armor-wise, exactly the same, so it's 63mm of armor all around the upgraded turret, 50mm on the front, 38 on the side, and 30 at the back of the hull. Exactly the same as the M4 Sherman. View range 370, which is the same. Same engine, same top speed of 48 kilometers per hour, same traverse on the turret and the hull. And yeah, it's pretty much the same tank. You get less gun depression and you just charge on ahead like there's nothing wrong. So let's get into a few games. First, I've got a few clips on how the 105mm howitzer performs when it is behaving itself. So we can see here the Crusader on full health, or nearly full health, and now it's not on full health anymore. And once again here, an E25. Can we take him out? Yes, especially when we get the back of the tank. And also, here's a Chaffee. That's a high roll there. Slightly high roll, but now back to a regular game where you don't always get those shots, but when you do connect those shots, it feels great. So we can see the speed is not too bad. I have platooned myself with Konzo, also in his recently acquired M4 Sherman, so it's completely stock, I think. I think he's got the engine on it, that's all. And we're gonna see, well, I'm gonna see what I can hit from up here. 105 isn't exactly designed for sniping, but if you do lead your shots correctly, it does work. Just a little bit more RNG than you're used to. And you can't really miss the shots as you would with a 76mm because it does take about 6 point something seconds, 6.7 seconds to reload the cannon. Here's a T25. Don't really have to aim too much on it. And I know a 76 would have done approximately the same amount of damage, but when you do reach tier 7 tanks, the 76mm may not have enough penetration to do any damage to it. However, 105, even if you don't penetrate, it can still do something, perhaps 20 damage or 19, but oh, well, here you go. That shot didn't make it.
Where do they go?
But right, yes, the tier 7s, you will be able to do at least something to them. Annoy them, reset the cap, stuff like that. And that's one artillery shell that just landed close to me. That's not good. They're gonna pop out. Yep, not leading those shots correctly. This does take a few seconds of travel time to reach the target, and it takes even longer if you are firing further away. And let's see if I can move forward a little bit. Doesn't seem like there's anything there. Perhaps it's just this lonely T-28, which just got taken out by the... Oh no, wait, here we go. Yeah, by the M4 Sherman. But now we've got a Churchill 1, which is actually quite heavily armored. However, I can still deal some damage, and it looks like I haven't been spotted, which is a good thing. But I'm not sure. I do not have Sixth Sense. And I guess if I did have an additional 2 degrees of gun depression, I could have fired at the M4 Sherman. But, come on. I think that went in. Maybe, maybe not. Can't seem to spot him anymore, and just got shot in return. Oh, and all 3 artillery just fired at my position. So, I'm not sure if it was lucky that it did take that damage. But if I didn't take the damage, I would have most likely stayed in that spot and perhaps be hit by 2 of the artillery. And even a 3rd one, who was obviously leading the shot. So there's a Chinook Kai coming into the base, noticed him. And the M2 medium is not playing the game, so we're gonna have to go back to base and do something about it. The aim time does take a while, and I tried to lead the shot right there, but it's hit or miss when that happens. Ooh, good shot by artillery. And now that I can see properly, that's how much you have to lead for a shot like that. It does take a little bit of time, a few seconds to calibrate. Now, T-14. No shots on that guy. T-14 is actually a pretty hard tank to penetrate from the front. For the side, it's a little bit easier, but it's not completely penetrable by most Tier 5 tanks. But if I manage to hit, there we go, I don't actually have to penetrate to do damage. One more shot ought to do it. And there we go. Did help with the artillery landing a hit as well. And now for the M4 Sherman, the T1 Heavy. Who have I killed? The Chinook Kai, so I actually need to kill the M4 Sherman for a mission. Not likely going to get that kill though. We'll see. He is coming over. Oh, he's been tracked by artillery. And artillery gets him. So, there goes that mission. Whatever. It's not that hard to get 2 medium kills at Tier 5. As long as there are 2 mediums on the team, or more than 2 mediums anyway. And that was a very lucky shot there, and it looks like this T1 Heavy is firing HE? 20 damage. That's very strange. But one shot into the rear, very big armor. If the artillery didn't hit him at the same time, I would have most likely penetrated and done quite a lot of damage, if not outright killed it. So I was a little bit disappointed by that. And it looks like, yes. At this point I've noticed that Konzo's on 2 kills. He's up ahead. There's only 1 artillery left. And I'm kind of telling him to go for it so we can get brothers in arms. Or rather, I'm screaming at this stage, I think. There's a Lux, BDRG-1B. Lux is probably the only one that can beat Konzo to the artillery, but it looks like he's gonna try and cap. So there it is, the Panzer SFL-4B, the artillery with, I think, a semi-rotating turret. It could be a fully rotated rotatable turret. And yes, he does get the third kill for a Brothers in Arms, which is quite nice. 785 points of experience for myself. Got a few spotting damage. And 1,238 damage done to the enemy. So, not that great, but this is a typical game you can expect in a Sherman 3 or an M4 Sherman. 16 shots fired, 11 hit, 11 penetrations, 24,000 credits earned with a premium count, non-premium 13,600. And I was hit 5 times, all 5 of which penetrated, although some of those were from that. I think at least 3 were from the T1 Heavy firing HE. And you do get some assisted damage, which is nice because you get tracks, or you track a lot of the enemy tanks quite often with an HE gun. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Please press that like button and leave some comments. I'll see you in future videos.